Good evening, everyone. I was on with Kelly Day this afternoon at 1 o'clock, so that was an wonderful, interesting conversation. We discussed everything from supply management to, being the fat kid. And the PPC as well. So it was really fun. I had a good time. I'll probably do it again. We'll chat. The conversation was, as I said, lots of fun. It was wonderful to hang out with Kelly for the afternoon, really. And if you haven't seen this, I came across this on Reddit. The link is in the description. It says, "This is why I'll be voting PPC." What do you think about this? This is the Conservative Party. What do you think about this? The title of I'll leave it up to you. If you go watch the video, it's 1.5 minutes long. That's it. And I'm not going to play it. But you go watch the video. I would suggest sharing with your CPC supporting friends. Do you support that coming from the Conservative Party of Canada? Interesting, isn't it? Interesting. Here is David Aiken, and he's tweeting, Ralph Goodale, quote, "No known connection to national security," Public Safety Minister at Ralph Goodale says. Rearrest of 2 men with a bomb in York Region. Says it's all up to York Regional Police. Quote, "They're in charge of this investigation." Or the investigation. Here's the report, and this broke this afternoon at 1:17. I would say this is a big deal. Potentially, I was going to say white supremacy, but I mean, it's so ridiculous that I'll leave it in. CBC reporting, quote, "Father and son charged after explosive materials found inside home in Richmond Hill, Ontario. Federal government says there's no known connection to national security." No. Why would there be? Police north of Toronto have charged a father and son after officers found explosive materials and a detonator device at a home in Richmond Hill, Ontario. Rizay Mohammedassi, sorry if I got that wrong, 47, and his son, Maihar, again, sorry if I got that wrong, 18, were arrested on Monday and charged with 1 count each of possession of an explosive device following a search of their home located about 40 kilometers north of Toronto. Both men were scheduled to appear in Newmarket Court today. Public Safety Minister Ralph Goodale says the arrest and charges are a local matter that concerns York Police, and there's no known connection to national security. Quote, "There's no known connection to any issue related to national security," he said in Ottawa. "It is a local policing matter. Obviously, they've made arrests, they've laid charges, and it's up to them to comment further." Border agents tipped off the police. York Region Police said the investigation began last Thursday when they received information about a person being investigated by the United States Customs and Border Protection and the Canada Border Services Agency. On Friday, police executed a search warrant at a home on Lorette Lane near Bathurst Street and Elgin Mills Road West and discovered explosive materials. Police did not specify what exactly the materials were or how much was removed. They said chemicals were also seized. Ontario Provincial Police, along with York Police's Explosive Direction Unit, helped to remove these materials. As a precaution, police practically shut down the street on Friday, forcing neighbors from their homes and restricting vehicles and pedestrian traffic as officers carried out their work. Neighbors have since been allowed back in their homes, police said. Despite evacuation orders being lifted and the suburban street returning to normal, residents say they've been left feeling uneasy. Jill Grazi, sorry if I've got that wrong, who's lived on Lorette Lane for 16 years, said the experience was, quote, "very stressful and traumatic." Quote, "You don't know what's going on. You don't know if your house is going to blow up. You don't know anything," Grazi said. Area resident Ranji Beer, sorry if I've got that wrong, said crime was so uncommon in the neighborhood that even minor robberies were rare. Quote, "Suddenly we hear about explosives and wow, it's very scary," Beer said. "It's a very serious case for sure." Constable Andy Pattenden, sorry for that. Spokesperson for the York Regional Police said officers are investigating how the materials got into the home and why they were there and what the accused planned to do with them. Quote, "We don't often see things like this. It's a very serious case for sure. The charge, possession of explosives, is a very serious charge," Pattenden said. Quote, "Thankfully, nobody was injured in this particular case, but there's lots more to this investigation. That's why we really need some tips and help from the public as to how these materials got there and why they were there and what these 2 people were up to." Police had a presence at the home on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, Pattenden said. In a news release on Tuesday, police said dangerous chemicals being stored in a home can pose serious risks, including fires and explosions. They urged members of the public to call police if they see any suspicious activity, notice chemical odors or unusual storage or stockpiling of chemicals, and to take precautions. I wonder what they mean specifically by that, because I'd love to take precautions. What do you suggest I do? Stockpile water just in case the water supply is poisoned? Like, really, I'm interested in, because that's kind of left there. Take precautions. How? What do you, okay. Don't inhale a hazardous material, and if you do, call 911. Oh, thanks, the newspaper. Anyway, so it's kind of left like that. So do you feel safer in Justin Trudeau's Canada? The father and son with explosive devices and nothing to see here, national security from the public safety minister. No problems, right? Interesting. And I think terribly, well, the same standard of reaction that Justin Trudeau has given all through his tenure. Nothing to see here, moving on. Canada and Canadians love everything about everything that's happening, particularly Liberals, right? According to Justin Trudeau and his crazy hair. Okay. CBC News is reporting in another story, and this is again a Liberal misstep, and you'll see why. Maybe you'll even see the line in the article where I roll my eyes hard. Okay, CBC News is reporting, quote, Commons apologizes to Mark Norman as opposition MPs press for committee probe. Okay, here we go. The House of Commons voted unanimously today to apologize to Vice Admiral Mark Norman for his legal ordeal, just days before opposition MPs are expected to push for a full-blown House of Commons committee investigation into the handling of the controversial criminal case. Conservative MP Lisa Raitt proposed the motion, which saw the Commons recognize Norman, quote, for his decades of loyal service to Canada, express regret for the personal and professional hardships he endured as a result of his failed prosecution, and apologize to him and his family for what they experienced during their legal conflict with the government. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and several members of his cabinet were not in the Commons for the vote. Did you feel it? Justin Trudeau. Back to the article. The Conservatives and the NDP wrote a letter last week to the Liberal chair of the Defence Committee asking for an emergency meeting Thursday, during which the opposition MPs will debate a motion to call for a full committee probe. 1 hour has been set aside to debate the motion, but a full-blown review cannot take place unless a majority of the MPs on the committee support it. It will be another crucial test for the Liberal government, which has faced allegations from both the opposition and Norman's lawyer, Marie Hennen, sorry if I've got that wrong, regarding political influence over decisions made during the prosecution of the military's former second-in-command. I scroll down. We're going to watch that in just a minute after I finish the article here. Quote, if they're ready to go that far, then they're ready for us to look at it, but the entire truth that hasn't been told yet, and we do it through our investigation at committee, he said. The Crown stayed a single charge of breach of trust against Norman last week, saying it did not have reasonable prospect of conviction after the defense presented it with new evidence. The lead prosecutor, Barbara Mercier, declined to say what the new information was, but indicated it was something neither she nor the RCMP had seen before. Public Safety Minister Ralph Goodale denied there was any political influence exerted in the case and defends the Mounties' handling of it. Quote, they would make their own decisions using their own professional judgments, he said, adding that they had never had any communication with them about the Norman matter. The former commander of the Navy was accused of leaking cabinet secrets to the Davie shipyard in Lévis, Quebec, which leased the federal government's supply ship for the Navy. Norman was accused of leaking the results of a Liberal cabinet meeting on the $668 million leasing project to a CBC journalist. And so here, and that charge has been thrown out. He's an innocent man. He didn't do anything wrong. And Justin Trudeau is, in fact, probably, again, with his finger on the scale. Right here is House of Commons agreeing. Without Justin Trudeau present, there's House Leader Chagger and other people, but not Trudeau. Not there to say sorry. Nope. But they voted unanimously to say sorry. Here we go.
The honourable member from Milton is rising on a point of order.
Speaker, there have been consultations amongst parties, and I believe you will find the unanimous consent for the following motion: that the House recognize Vice Admiral Mark Norman for his decades of loyal service to Canada, express regret for the personal and professional hardships he endured as a result of his failed prosecution, and apologize to him and his family for what they experienced during their legal conflict with the government.
Does the honourable member have the unanimous consent of the House to move the motion? Agreed. The House has heard the terms of the motion. It is the pleasure of the House to adopt the motion. Adopted.
And there we go. So, do you feel safer in Justin Trudeau's Canada? Do you believe Minister Goodale when he says nothing to see here, everything's above board. Nobody put their fingers on the scale of justice. Nobody is hiding anything. Nobody is connected to national security. I don't know. At this point, the political capital those Liberals rode in on in 2015 has been largely spent, and all of the fumes are gone. The credibility in this government is, has long been gone. So that's just my feeling on it. Interesting times, and I'll be interested to watch how this plays out. I'll be interested to watch how the Mark Norman investigation plays out. Although, sneak peek, everyone, it's going to play out just like SNC. The majority on the committee it's a Liberal majority because it's a Liberal majority in the House, right? So it's a Liberal majority committee, and what do you think they're going to vote for? I'll give you 3 guesses, and the first 2 don't count, right? Have a wonderful evening. Thank you for watching, everybody. Check out the peoplespartyofcanada.ca. Thanks for watching. Have a great evening.